It is okay to want and buy yourself nice things. 31 lessons that I've learned over the last 2 years in 31 days. Okay. It is okay to want and have and buy yourself nice things. Oh, man. This one I know stems from my childhood. Um, so when I was younger, um, I was very blessed, and I do have siblings, but I'm not speaking for them, talking about myself here. But we were blessed. We were very fortunate. My dad worked very hard, and my mom worked very hard to give us a life of um, affluence, essentially. And but the funny thing is that we didn't know. We didn't know how blessed we were because my parents both grew up in the hood. They both grew up in the projects. And so there's just certain things about growing up in the hood that some people just carry with them their whole lives. And so, yeah, my siblings and I were not spoiled, but we had resources available to us that we just were not aware that we had resources available to us. So I remember we just lived our lives and we didn't move around a lot until my parents started the church and things like that. So we were living in pretty successful and not diverse neighborhoods and went to schools that also are not diverse. Literally the only black child, and I'm not even that dark. Literally the only dark child, the only brown in any of my classrooms for a very long time. I can remember 6th grade being where I had more than just like me and maybe one other person in the classroom. 6th grade. So, yeah, that was fun. But, and no, actually fun. I was so glad to see other people that were not, that had color in their skin. Okay. But anyway, so slowly start to realize that I had access to more than I originally knew and originally thought, and got to high school and didn't drive my first 2 years. But then my junior year, I started driving mainly because my sister also started high school and my parents were just like, you got your license. We are not driving your sister anywhere. You are. So my dad gave me a car. It was a red Ford Expedition. Okay. The high school I went to was one of the bigger high schools in the city, and it was downtown. Downtown was very, very busy. It was nowhere near our house, but it was down the street from my dad's job. So those first 2 years where I wasn't driving, I literally would just ride to work with him. I would go eat breakfast, have some coffee in the break room. I was like a coworker, say hi to everybody, and then walk up the street to school. So, just stay there anyway. So had a red Ford Expedition. I don't know if you know what Expeditions are or how big they are, but I am currently 5'2". At 35, I was probably 5 feet, 5'1". I don't grow much, okay? It was probably like 5 feet even as a junior. Whipping this red of all colors, red Ford Expedition. Okay, so I got attention. All right. I was oblivious. Like I said before, we were raised relatively normal. Okay. Did we struggle financially? No. Did we wonder where our next meal came from? No. But we shopped at Walmart, well, I was about to say at Target, but Target wasn't like Target like it is now. Burlington. I don't know if y'all know what Burlington is. TJ Maxx. Dang it, what was the other store? We went to the dollar store. We were raised very regular, okay? So the attention, I remember at one point, the attention was very uncomfortable. It's like, what is this 5 foot black girl doing junior in high school doing with this big old red Ford Expedition? With three, what am I gonna do with 3 rows? I'm driving myself and my sister to school. Why do I need 3 rows of seats? The attention was very uncomfortable. And so I started parking the car other places that wasn't so visible, or making sure that I was one of the first people out, got in the car real quick, things to that effect. Because I just didn't like the attention. Because people started asking questions like, oh, are you rich? Oh, well, what are you doing at this school? And because it was considered, my opinion, it was the best school ever. But out of all the high schools, I would say it was probably one of the poorest high schools. Great teachers, like very high level education, like the people that graduated, their scores and everything, it was very high. It was just one of the poor, like my first couple of years of high school, we did not have air conditioning in the school. Like we were sharing books because there's not enough books. And then those books were literally falling apart. They literally were duct taped. We didn't know what the covers of the books looked like because the teachers had to duct tape them because they were falling apart. Floors creaking, doors not being able to close, like toilets breaking. It was one of the least money having schools. Okay. But great school, great friends, great education, things like that. But I definitely got asked questions like, what are you doing here? You rich and this, that, and the other. And I just remember how uncomfortable that made me, and because I definitely was an introvert. I still am an introvert. I am more of an extroverted introvert now, but I think that's just learned behavior. But I'm definitely still an introvert, but I was definitely an introvert then. And I just remember I just wanted to shrink, and I just felt bad. I felt bad about driving a car that my dad gave me innocently to drive to school. And his thinking was, because it was on literally the busiest street in the city. And he was like, well, if you get in a car accident, you won't get hurt. That literally was his thinking. And so neither one of us had any other ulterior motives for me, a 5-foot black girl, junior in high school, driving this big old red Ford Expedition. I was just happy that I didn't have, I could sleep in an extra hour. I didn't have to go to work with my dad. Just the downside was I had to drive my sister everywhere. And then my dad was thinking, I just want my kids to be safe, so I'm put them in this big old car type thing on it, because it literally was the busiest street. I think it's like a 6-lane street that the school is literally on. It's literally on the street. So, and we had to park on the street because we didn't have a parking lot. I mean, now they got a parking garage. They have upgraded the school, and I am happy but also jealous for the kids that still go there because they got air conditioning, new books, a parking garage. We didn't have none of that. So my dad and I were both thinking innocently about having this car. But of course, it was just taking the opposite direction with it. And I felt bad. I felt bad. So I would just, after high school, I did ask my dad for a different car. He said no. So I drove it, whatever. And after high school, I did not take my car with me because freshmen were not allowed to have cars. Plus, according to my dad, he just gave it to me to borrow. He didn't really give it to me. But I could have it anyway. And so when I went to college, nobody knew. I went to a city where we knew some people, the family knew some people. So I felt like relatively comfortable, but it wasn't like my family was there. And so nobody knew me. Nobody knew how I grew up or what I had or whatever. And so I just went back to being my normal self. And it was so great. It was so great. But then I would hear different things about different people that had stuff and would bring their stuff to school, to the college, to the campus, things like that. And I remember thinking, I was like, I never want people to feel that way about me. And I never want to give off that. And so I just didn't say anything. Just didn't say anything. I didn't bring it up. I didn't have flashy. I wasn't a flashy person anyway, but I didn't have anything. I didn't even have Jordans. My husband bought me my first pair of Jordans, like maybe a couple years after we were married. That was the first time I had, like, I didn't even have Jordans. Like, that's just not where we shopped. So, and fast forward, these last 2 years, I found myself wanting to do nice things for myself because it would cheer me up because I was not having a fun time in life. And I remember I was getting ready to buy myself these really, really nice press-on nails. That's my thing now, is press-on nails. And I have this Black woman, she lives in London, that I buy my press-on nails from. I'll probably leave a link in the description box or somewhere where you can patronize her. But her prices for her press-on nails and the quality of her press-on nails is not even that bad. It's absolutely reasonable. But that's me saying it now. When I first saw the prices, I was like, oh my gosh. Oh my, and it was like $25 for a set. And like a set, you would get like 20 nails. I mean, you got 10 fingers, but you know, everybody's fingers are different sizes and things like that, whatever. And I remember being like, oh my gosh, that's too much money. $25 for a set of press-on nails? I thought was too much money because I had taught myself, essentially, I don't want people to treat me different, so I can't have all this nice stuff. And I know it sounds stupid. It sounds stupid. It does. And I'm not being condescending and I'm not talking down anybody. This is just what I had come to believe. And I had to stop myself when I was looking at her nails and I was just like, but you deserve $25 nails. Like, girl, what? You deserve $25 nails. Like, you can get them. It is okay. Nobody's going to talk bad about you because you have $25 nails. Yes, it sounds stupid. It sounds stupid now that I'm saying it, but this is what I thought. This is what I thought. I told myself so much I didn't want people to assume things about me or think certain things about me or treat me a certain way if I had nice things. So I just never really had nice things. I mean, I always had nice things. I hope y'all are reading between the lines again what I'm saying. My stuff was always clean. I mean, just like this, I think I got this from Target, right? My stuff is always clean. It always looks good on me, right? But it's like that luxury aspect. I didn't want people to think I was a bad person or I was full of myself with this, that, and the other. So I just didn't. And so I had an issue with getting $25 nails. I was like, ooh. And I remember telling my husband, I was like, oh, I found this woman. She makes these amazing nails, these amazing reviews. I would love to support her. It's a Black-owned business. And the nails are super, super cute. And he was like, okay, go get them. And I was like, no, I can't. They're too expensive. And he was like, well, how much are they? I was like, $25. But, you know, with shipping, because she's in London, it's more like $32. And he just looked at me and he was just like, girl, if you don't go get those nails. He's like, if you don't go get those nails. He was like, do you want them? And I was like, yeah. He's like, if you don't go get those nails. Like, I had such an issue with buying myself nice things because I didn't want people to think bad things about me that I couldn't even get myself $25 nails. It ain't a problem now, no more though. But I had to realizing, yes, this was within the last 2 years because really the only thing I had time to do was put on my own set of press-on nails. So my nails, they did. And they're such good quality nails. Like I could have those nails on for a month and they would not chip, would not break, would not pop off, nothing. So I will put the link. It's ETN Nails. E as in Edward. T as in Tom, N as in Nancy. Nails. Okay? Look it up. Get you some. I just haven't ordered recently. These are actually somebody else. I cheated on my nail girl. But with all the backup and stuff, I wasn't going to get them for like a month. So I have another set on that are absolutely horrible. And that's why you cannot see them. Because they're bad. They've popped off. I have 3 fingers that don't have nails on them. It's okay. But what was I saying? Yeah, I could only have time for putting on nails. Because whether I was waiting in the parking lot at the hospital because, you know, the pandemic, they were only allowing one person in at a time with the patient. So more often than not, it was my mom. Um, Whether I was just at the house with my mom, just spending time with her, trying to keep her encouraged, whatever. I could just sit there and do my nails, right? I didn't have to like go somewhere and get them done. I could just do my nails. So that became my thing that I did for myself. And then I started getting her custom sets. And those, of course, are more expensive because they take more effort and time. I was happy to pay it, paid it multiple times, will continue to pay for them. But looking back now, I was like, I had a problem. Even her custom sets. So her custom sets with shipping, I still am paying only like $50. And these are amazing nails. Like if I was to go to a shop or something and get acrylic, they would probably cost me more than that. So, looking back now, it's just like, that was really rooted deep, and it may sound stupid or whatever, but that was really rooted deep. Like I was so afraid of what other people would think about me just because I had nice things that I didn't spend the extra bucks on something that I wanted. And it wasn't unreasonable. It wasn't irresponsible. It was like $30 with shipping. 30. Like, girl. But it was something that I had to get over and that I did get over. And while I'm still not, you know, dressed in the finest designer, I do got nice shoes on though. But that's because my husband realized that I like Jordans. So I have a couple pairs now. But yeah, other than my shoes, I'm still a regular person. I just got like $50 nails on, and that's fine. And nobody thinks about me differently. Nobody hates me. Nobody thinks that I'm full of myself. It's just something that I had told myself would happen. And I just didn't want that. So, something I learned. It's okay to buy yourself and to have and to want nice things. Even if your nice things are more than what I spend on myself for nice things, it is still okay to want nice things. You are not a bad person. You're not full of yourself just because it is. You might be full of yourself because of other things. So don't twist my words now, okay? But just because you want something nice, just because you want something expensive, does not mean that you are unrealistic or mean or stuck up or whatever. You just want nice things, and you deserve nice things. I deserve nice things. We all deserve nice things. Okay? It's okay to want and to have and to buy nice things. It's just something I learned.